We couldn't talk about it. In fact, in interviews we've been lying about it, saying you never play as Ellie because it was so important for that to be a surprise. Sorry, journalists.
Oh my god! Wow!
Naughty Dog lied / kept it on the hush-hush that Ellie was gonna be a playable character in the first Last of Us game before it was released. Could we have a similar case here but with Joel? Could Joel be a playable character in part 2? The footage you saw in the beginning of the video was made by me with the help of Uncharted 4 gameplay and tons of editing. Link to the full video down below. If you're new, welcome to the channel. Feel free to join the Dick Gang by subbing with all notifications. Why should you sub? I mean, look at this. And this. Enough said. Link to those videos are in the description as well, or you could just click on my channel to view the channel trailer. Anyway, let's jump into today's topic. If Joel was playable, how would that fit into the story? I definitely think there's gonna be flashbacks in this game. In the 2016 trailer, we know that Ellie is able to play the guitar, and it's obvious Joel taught her that since in The Last of Us 1, Joel said, hey, when we get out of this, I'm gonna teach you to play guitar. So for me, if you put 2 and 2 together, it's obvious Joel taught her. So, in this screenshot right here, like I've said before, Joel looks younger here, and I do think this might be a flashback. More on that later. But I do see there being a chance that Joel is playable right here. Maybe we have a calm gameplay sections, let's say similar to early on in the game when we wandered around town with Tess before, you know, the action picked up. Or maybe we have a section where we do everyday mundane shit in Jackson. Let's say like in part 1 when we saw people fixing a power outage or whatever you call it. Maybe we have similar things like that. Or what if we play as Joel and make sure that the surrounding areas are safe around Jackson? We do know that Ellie and Dina goes out on patrol. Maybe we get a patrol mission with Joel. And maybe there, you know, yeah, we clear out possible infected outside nearby Jackson, stuff like that. I'm gonna give you a warning before I proceed in case you haven't seen the recent screenshots that dropped, since they might be too revealing to some. So if you haven't seen the recent screenshots and you really want to go in with like really blind, I mean, it's not revealing, it's not a direct spoiler or whatever the fuck, but anyway, you've been warned. 3, 2, 1. This screenshot right here, like I've said before, strongly hints at Joel being playable character, unless it's just a cutscene and the camera is panned that way. But I do think this might allude to Joel being a playable character in early sections of the game or in the middle, where we do like mundane stuff like that, maybe a flashback, just mundane stuff around Jackson. I don't know how big this game is gonna be, but what if they introduce horse mechanic gameplay, maybe like horse bonding, or you have to maintain your horse the way you do in Red Dead Redemption. What if we play as Joel to introduce that? The game is gonna be 2 discs, I heard, so I don't think that is that far-fetched to consider that maybe you have a little bit more detailed horse gameplay. You know how at the start of the games they usually introduce which button to press, how to craft this and that, and how the gameplay mechanics usually work. Before we play as Ellie, maybe we'd be in Jackson as Joel and the game tells us how to maybe maintain our horse if that's the case. I don't think they'll have a completely similar horse system like in RDR2 because yeah, they would probably be accused of copying and stuff like that. But maybe something in the terms that you can't spam ride your horse and, you know, the stamina runs out and stuff like that, because Naughty Dog does aim for realism, and if we spam ride our horse the way we did in The Last of Us 1, I mean, I would be fine with that, but I would also feel more immersed if a detail that Naughty Dog considers is that you can't always spam ride your horse. You gotta be careful and consider the horse's stamina. I don't know. I don't think that's far-fetched, and maybe in this screenshot right here, we're at a field with Tommy, riding around Jackson doing mundane shit. It tells us, UI tells us how to ride your horse, don't override it, type stuff like that. Okay, enough rambling about horses. This video is mainly focused, yeah, but this video is mainly focused of the possibilities of Joel being playable. So yeah, enough about horses. Another reason I think Joel might be playable is kind of going into minor Uncharted 4 spoilers. They're not really big or too revealing, it's just a minor gameplay section of the game. But if you haven't played Uncharted 4 and don't want to know a minor gameplay section, feel free to click away. Alright, 3, 2, 1. Neil seems to love having us play as multiple characters in his games. In Uncharted 1 to 3, we only played as Drake, if I remember correctly, correct me if I'm wrong. But then, when Neil Jesus Man comes around to the direct, we played a little bit as Sam in a small part of the game. I wouldn't be surprised if Neil continues to have this trend around. Have us play as Joel at a small part of the game. Obviously, Ellie is going to be the main focus of the game and the main playable character in this game. But I wouldn't be surprised again, and I think the chances kind of are not that far-fetched that in small parts of the game, Joel would be playable. In the beginning, most likely, but also I wouldn't deny having him playable in the middle or at the end. I always overanalyze things, so I might be wrong here somehow, some way.
What the hell are you doing here? You think I'm gonna let you do this on your own?
It's obvious here to me. It might be realistically that Joel and Ellie, they get separated for whatever reason. Maybe Ellie finds out the truth about the cure, blames Joel for what hit the fan. You know, I've discussed that before, but maybe Ellie get mad at him. She like, nah bro, I'm going on my own, get out of my face. So, we know that they separate and that they reunite. What if we play as Joel back and forth as Joel and as Ellie, where Joel is catching up to her in whatever pickly situation she might find herself in. The same way we did in the winter chapter when Joel caught up to Ellie in David's town. Woohoo! Might be repetitive to some folks, but I think depending on the execution, it might feel different, you know what I'm saying? It might work, depending on how they execute it, even if we've done it before. I kind of wish that they haven't showed Joel in a scene like that, since now we know that Ellie and Joel are gonna split up, but that they'll reunite, so it kind of takes away from the tension of wondering whether they'll get back together or not if they split up. Unless Joel is a ghost.
Bruh.
But I don't think Naughty Dog would show us this scene right here in the trailer, the reuniting scene, if it was a big part of the game. So if we play as Joel, that probably wouldn't be the main focus, this scene, or like them splitting up and catching up together. If we do, I see it more likely in the beginning, but I'm not denying in the middle and the end. But to summarize, I do believe we might play as Joel in different sections of the game, most likely in the beginning. Maybe doing mundane stuff at Jackson's and introducing gameplay mechanics like horse controls or something like that. Especially the screenshot right here, that kind of makes me think that way. But that is my thoughts. Now what about yours? Do you think that there's no chance at all we'll play as Joel? Or do you think that there might be? And did anything I said make any sense on possible ways we could play as Joel? If Joel is playable, how would you picture it? Comment your thoughts and discuss with each other down below. Like, share, sub with the bell if you're new. Endure and survive, and I'll see you when I see you.